Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this morning's game between Somerville and Cambridge Rangers and Latin. First of all, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And now we'll have the playing of the national anthem.
Hello and happy Thanksgiving, as here on Somerville TV we are live from the Russell Athletic Complex in Cambridge, as for the 136th time the Highlanders will take on the Cambridge Falcons in the backyard rivalry. Hello everybody, Todd Harmon alongside Tyler Aragao. And Tyler, happy Thanksgiving to start things off. Great to have you here, filling in for Eddie Maldonado, who could not be with us today. A little preview of our hockey season coming up, Tyler, as we're together here at Russell Field. And we've got the Highlanders versus the Falcons. The Highlanders come in with a 6-3 overall record. Cambridge 5-4 overall. Cambridge coming off a victory over Everett, 47-46. Highlanders off a loss against Whittier, 30-12. Highlanders will begin kicking off to the Falcons, and it's a huge Thanksgiving Day game as the Highlanders look to repeat and keep that picket fence.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you, Todd. It's great to be here. Beautiful day from Cambridge. Great day for football, and what really does sum up the Thanksgiving holiday, quite like playing a football game here. And for the Highlanders here and the Falcons, both teams, final game of the season, trying to end things on a high note here. If you're Somerville following back-to-back losses, you'd much rather finish 7-3 than 6-4 after having such a great start to this season.
No doubt about it. Somerville winning last year 38-6 as we are underway. Ball fielded back at the 15-yard line. Across the 20. That is where Godridge will start. As that tackle made by number 2, a newly minted GBL All-Star, Ishmael Mack, as he makes the tackle of Jemai Lewis on the return. So Cambridge will begin on the offensive end. Quarterback for the Falcons, Joseph Darridge, coming off a big game against Everett. Again, for Cambridge, you notice on Cambridge's schedule, their wins, they score a lot of points. They're a high-speed team that like to spread the offense, as you can see right here. 4 wide receivers, I should say, for Cambridge. Joined in the backfield by Christopher Sheen, Joan Baptiste.
And the coverage for Somerville early on in this game is going to be an indicator in terms of how do you slow down a team that likes to push the ball down the field and likes to play with pace.
And the give is on the inside, and there's big number 0 for the Highlanders. Another one of those all-stars as Marcos Pineda, first to the ball, leads the Highlanders in tackles this season.
And that's a great way to start this game out on defense. And who else to lead the way for the Highlanders but Marcos Pineda? Just has done it all for this team, both sides of the ball. 68th tackle already this season.
Second down now and 12 for the Falcons. Also 2 on first down. He's got that run for the Falcons. Man in motion on the far side is Hugo Davis. Back to pass is Darridge. He'll get that one out to Davis. And the pass is complete for I believe as he got across the 35-yard line down at about the 36. Cambridge will get the first down and 10 for the Falcons here. So they have bunch receivers going no huddle. 4 receivers here to the near side. Darren's back to pass. Looks to the screen. Drops it out to Kamai Green. Green around the corner as he gets to midfield. Forced out of bounds at the 49-yard line. As Green gets the first down right around midfield for the Falcons. They're moving here on their opening drive.
Yeah, good pick up there by Green. You could just see him positioned well enough behind the screen, long enough for him to catch that pass and then leak out a bit over to the left side of the field. And on their first 2 passing plays in this game, Todd, you can already see how the Falcons are trying to exploit things on the sideline, use that speed to their advantage. That's a good pickup there by Green, taking that ball just about to midfield.
First down and 10 for the Falcons at their own 49-yard line, just underway here from Russell Field. Battle for the picket fence. Darridge takes the snap, rolling to the far side. Under pressure, able to get the pass away, complete to Kamai Green. Across the Highlander 45. Actually incomplete is going to be the call as that ball popped out of his hands.
Another ball, too, that was aimed towards the sideline, and Green, not sure. It's hard to tell over on that far side, Todd, if he was going to run out of real estate, but it looked like he did bring it down in bounds before just losing possession of it.
Highlanders pressured the Falcon quarterback Howard last year in the Highlander victory over at Dilboy Stadium on Thanksgiving Eve. You can see the Cambridge offense already rolling around. Darridge keeping him out of that pocket, getting him outside away from the pressure. Stacked receivers on both sides. 4 receivers for Darridge. Second down and 10 for the Falcons. Direct snap goes to Jemai Lewis, and he is brought down. Great job there by Marcos Pineda as he was able to get a hand on Jemai Lewis before he was able to break away. No gain on the run for the Falcons. Third down and 10 now.
Pineda, just such a determined tackler. He is able to fight through initial contact there along the line, and even when he doesn't get all of his man on the tackle, he still does just enough to slow Lewis down and get him to trip and stumble down into the turf.
Pineda, one of the 5 All-Stars, GBL GBL All-Stars for the Highlanders. Ishmael Mack joining Pineda along with Ryan Lewis. Also Usman Kaba, as well as Kerry Alphonse. Those are your Highlander GBL All-Stars on the football field. Big third down here for the Falcons. 3rd and 10, 4 receivers. And in motion to the far side, Darren's back to pass. He's looking around, under pressure now. He'll step up in the pocket. He's hit as he throws. As that was Pineda putting the pressure on. Pass incomplete. 4th down and 10 now for the Falcons.
Big stand on 3rd and long after the Falcons were able to pick up some plays through the air. And who else to lead the way, Todd, for Somerville but Marcos Pineda? Again, another huge play defensively. 3 tackles alone on this opening defensive drive. And Darrage looked like he had time back there dancing around, trying to find options downfield, nobody open. And eventually the quarterback hit as he throws and nothing doing there along that far sideline.
Really good coverage there for the Highlanders defensively. And the punt will be away. Ryan Lewis deep to return. They'll punt it away from Ryan Lewis, the GBL All-Star, as it trickles out of bounds at the Highlander 19-yard line. And that's where the Highlanders will take over on their first offensive possession, as the defense did exactly what they needed to do on the opening drive.
Yes.
The Falcons able to
Inside the Highlander 20-yard line, but it'll stop 1st and 10 from their own 19.
Healthy. 3 receivers for the Highlanders. Pineda at the top of the screen, Lewis at the bottom. Osiris will keep once again just powering forward behind that offensive line. Jesus Munoz, number 50, senior presence on that offensive line, leading that charge. There's about 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6 for the Highlanders.
And Young on the tackle. Gain of about 4, 2nd and 6 for Somerville. From their own 42-yard line.
Three receivers, high formation, give to the up back. That's Barry Alphonse, push forward. And 4 yards on the play.
Tackle, bring up 3rd and 2 for Somerville.
First down and 10 for the Highlanders, as Ishmael Mack will get that, or Usman Kaba strike that. Usman Kaba with the carry, push back at the line of scrimmage. Good push there by the Falcon defensive front as they were able to keep Kaba from gaining any yardage. 6:10 remaining, clock rolls here in the first quarter. Loss of a couple on the play. No, actually, they're going to mark the ball at the original line of scrimmage.
Genesee Shaw, the linebacker, leading the way there for the Falcons. He just came right up through the line there and was able to meet Usman Kaba right at the spot, and they're going to say no gain on the play, 2nd and long for the Highlanders. They're matching power on power there.
Stacked at receivers at the top. Ryan Lewis, and the give, actually the keep by Aries Osiris. Run pass option there. And Osiris kept it as he had that opportunity there, read the defense very well. Of course, Cambridge knows how dangerous number 4 Ryan Lewis can be. They were over pursuing the handoff to Lewis, and Aries Osiris will get the first down for the Highlanders down to the Cambridge 38-yard line.
Yeah, just great deception there and motion on that handoff. Had just about everybody fooled there down on the field, and Osiris with his legs just churning down that near sideline. That's a big gain across midfield.
Osiris handles the snap, bobbled it a little bit, got it off to Lewis. Gain of a couple for Ryan Lewis on his first carry of the game. Actually, it's going to go as a gain of only 1 there. Timing on that play thrown off a little bit by the bobbled snap. 2nd down and 9 now for the Highlanders. Scoreless here from Russell Field. Battle for the picket fence. 4:35 remaining in the first quarter. Highlanders driving after they were able to stop the Cambridge opening drive around midfield.
You saw Osiris bobble that handoff just a little bit. It is cold out here, Todd. Cold and windy conditions, and just have to make sure that you're taking care of that football, especially if you're the Highlanders, knowing that you're going to rely so much on the run and with different carriers.
And once again from the I formation, Osiris will keep it, powering forward behind the offensive line. Gains about 5 on the play. 3rd down and a long 4 coming up for the Highlanders with 4 minutes remaining in the quarter. Big 3rd down here for the Highlanders.
That would be a huge pickup here. Somerville continues to not only chisel away at the defense, Todd, but chiseling away at the clock as well. Now under 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. Time of possession favoring them early, and that's going to benefit with their game plan in terms of how they want to continue to carry the ball here.
Highlanders love running the power run game and controlling the clock. High snap, give is to Pineda, and the Falcons ready for that as number 77, Cedric Bernier, right in there to lead that Falcon defense to push back the Highlanders. Lost about 3 on the play. 4th down now and 7 for the Highlanders. They will go for it here on 4th down. Osiris comes out with the play from offensive coordinator Bob Silva. 4 receivers for the Highlanders. Trips to the top. Ishmael Mack is at the very top of the screen. Now Ryan Lewis out in motion. The pass is to Lewis, and he cuts inside of a tackle attempt and dives across the 30 down for the Highlander first down. Ryan Lewis. We'll see whether they get the first down. Cambridge looks very excited over there. We're going to pull the chains out, I think, and measure this one. It looked like Lewis had gotten the necessary yardage. We'll wait for the signal from the officials.
I needed to pick up at least 7 there, and finally the Highlanders opt to go to their own version of a screen pass, and with Lewis leaking out to that left side, the line drifting over to try and follow him. He's just such a tough player to keep marked.
Big measurement here, and the Highlanders will get it. First down and 10 for the Highlanders with 2:30 remaining here in the first quarter. The drive stays alive after Lewis able to lunge forward and get that first down.
And it was that extra effort there, Todd. He had the speed going to the outside there, but if he wanted to get to that first down marker, he knew he was going to have to make an extension with the ball. He does a really good job to protect it and ensure that this drive will continue here for the Highlanders. A great first opening drive as the clock continues to tick down.
First down and 10 for the Highlanders now from the Falcon 28. And the Wildcat with Pineda looking for the direct snap. Lots of motion there, as the false start will be the call against the Highlanders. They'll back up 5 yards. First opportunity for the Highlanders to run that Wildcat, just not quite in sync on that snap. So it'll be first down and 15 for the Highlanders from the Cambridge 33-yard line.
Yeah, and you could just see things weren't really settled there as players were coming up towards the line. And when you've got so many different weapons who can use their legs and run the ball effectively, even though it's just a 5-yard loss on that penalty, those can add up over the course of a game.
Stoppage on the field here, whistles sounding.
Might have been a late substitution onto the field, perhaps.
Sideline warning being issued to Somerville, I believe.
I think it was over at the far sideline, Todd, on the Cambridge side of things.
Sideline. So first down and 15, I formation behind Aries Osiris. As Pineda is the deep back. The give is to Pineda, and he bounces it out to the left as he goes outside. Gaining over 10 yards on that run, gets it down inside the 25-yard line of Cambridge.
I mentioned how Pineda defensively, when he fights through tackles, even if he just gets a piece of his man, he has that ability to get through the contact, and it's the same thing on the run with Lewis coming over to finally bring him down, but it's that initial ability to keep to his feet, bounce off that contact, and gain just a couple extra yards there to the outside.
Second down and 6 now for the Highlanders. High formation behind Osiris. Ryan Lewis, lone receiver on the near side. Pineda's deep in the backfield. Give is once again to Pineda off the left side. Big hole there. He's through for the Highlander first down and more as he gets down inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Highlanders.
Just continues to be a direct approach and a committed approach to running the football. And I have a feeling, Todd, this afternoon, or this morning, I should say, we're going to be saying Marcos Pineda's name quite a bit.
No doubt about it. Said it multiple times on that opening defensive stand. 3 tackles in that drive for Pineda. And now calling in his name multiple times as he's once again deep in the I formation behind Aries Osiris. First and goal from just inside the 10. The give is to Pineda. Once again off that left side. Breaks a tackle. He's down to the goal line. Pushes for the pylon. And the Highlander touchdown. Marcos Pineda with a 10-yard gallop off the left side as he pushed across that final tackle attempt towards the pylon, and the Highlanders lead 6-0 pending the point after attempt.
Well, at least his 3rd or 4th carry of gaining at least 7 or 8 yards, and again, multiple Falcons coming over to try and slow him down, and he's just able to fight through the contact, bounce his way over towards that far left side. Nearly got stopped just short of the pylon, but gets himself fully extended, protecting the ball and ensuring that 6 points go up on the board here in this drive for the Highlanders that bled most of the first quarter down.
Highlanders looking for the 2-point conversion. I formation behind Osiris. Once again, there's Pineda off that left side, and he is stopped short. Good tackle there in the hole. I believe a linebacker came upfield that hole. You don't see the number on that, but a great job by the Falcons to keep it a 6-0 Highlander lead after the 10-yard touchdown by Pineda. 11 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and an excellent point by you, Tyler. The Highlanders taking the time off the clock, keeping that electrifying, very athletic and fast offense for the Falcons off of the field.
And not only that, you wear the clock down, but in the process, you wear this defense down as well. That was an extended drive. You could see multiple defenders for Cambridge trying to bring just Pineda down themselves, and to be able to break through multiple tackles and extend drives through the plays made on the ground. That 4th and 7 pickup was huge, and it allows ultimately for the Highlanders to put 6 on the board, just getting stopped short of that 2-point conversion. I believe that was Xavier Santos, the linebacker, coming in to just stop Pineda short.
Highlanders looking to kick away here. Of course, they do love the onside. Let's see what they do. They will kick it away as it's fielded by Jemai Lewis. Lewis spun around and dropped as Usman Kaba was first one there to meet him. And we have a flag down.
There's a flag on the play.
There is some tempers flaring, rivalry game on the sideline there. Highlander head trainer Michelle Kelly involved there, trying to separate people as well. We'll see what the flag is about.
Yeah, we saw that flag get thrown right at the front of the Somerville sideline there with players all greeting each other. I don't think exchanging any holiday wishes.
Some happy Thanksgivings maybe were exchanged, maybe checking out whether they like the jellied cranberries or the fresh cranberries. It's unsportsmanlike conduct. It's going to be the call. It's going to go against the Falcons as Lewis was pushed out on the Highlander sideline on enemy terms there, and obviously didn't like being over there. So 15 yards, Cambridge's going to be backed up those 15.
And that's a tough break for the Falcons because it wasn't a particularly long kick. It was certainly returnable, and considering where they started last time out on their first drive right around their own 24-yard line, it looked like they were going to pick things up closer to the 40. And instead now with that flag, it's going to back them up here, as you said, Todd, 15 yards. And penalties are a problem if they start to stack up, but especially penalties where you feel like it can be avoided.
Yeah.
And those sideline confrontations right there, that's something that both teams don't want to see going forward in this game, albeit a rivalry.
One snap remaining here in the first quarter, 6 seconds remaining. Cambridge will start this drive from their own 22. First down and 10. It's Darridge in the shotgun, joined in the backfield by Chris Jean-Baptiste. Darridge under pressure, Marcos Pineda, as well as Jesus Munoz and Kerry Alphonse. A host of Highlanders bring Darridge down to end the first quarter as the Highlanders get their first sack of the game.
And I believe that was Munoz in first leading the charge, but a host of Highlanders, as you said, Todd, just swarming onto the quarterback. Darridge, again, similar to how the first drive ended for Cambridge, just trying to buy himself some time, but once things break and he's forced to vacate the pocket like that, he is exposed and vulnerable. And the Highlanders, with their familiar faces up on the defensive front, able to come through and bring the quarterback down to end this first quarter with the Highlanders ahead 6-0.
Highlanders with a 6-0 lead after that 10-yard touchdown jaunt. We'll switch ends of the field here as the Highlander defense looks to hold once again against Cambridge. Of course, gives me the opportunity to talk about some of the other fall sports that we had here for the Highlanders. A great fall sports season for the Highlanders. 20 All-Stars, 20 GBL All-Stars across the fall sports for the Highlanders, including also a league MVP as Camila Plata for the girls soccer team comes away with the GBL MVP in girls soccer. Ali Amin, a young freshman runner for the cross-country team, was the runner of the year in girls cross-country in the GBL as well. Of course, that girls cross-country team, GBL champions, undefeated as well. Congratulations to them and their all-stars, Greta O'Sullivan, as well as Jennifer Gordon, joining Ali Amin on that all-star team for the boys. They went 7-0, winning their 5th straight GBL championship. Their GBL all-stars, Henry Zeracor, Robert Leone, Henry O'Mora, Ron John Warren, and Gabriel Sloss. You can, of course, check out the GBL Cross Country Championship here on Somerville NTV. Like, share, subscribe, and mash those buttons as it's tossed here to Jemai Lewis on the jet sweep, trying to get around the corner, and the Highlanders say no as Usman Kaba comes up to make the hit.
Yeah, a bit of a pitch play there on the snap. They try and flip it over to Lewis, who's got some good wheels under him, but again, the Highlanders just meeting him right there at the spot. Virtually no gain, if not a loss of yards there, and Kaba the first man to meet him, but he had Jojo Flores there to back him up as well. And it seems like that's been a point of emphasis defensively, Todd, is it hasn't just been one man making the stop. It's been a group effort to bring down these ball carriers.
3rd down and 12 now for the Falcons. The Highlander defense looks to stop the second Falcon drive. Darridge looks here to the near side, passes downfield, incomplete, as he was trying to hook up with number 9, Nico Santos. Jojo Flores in defense.
And Santos, one of,
incomplete.
sorry there, Todd. Santos, one of their deep ball threats down that sideline. You saw his speed on the first drive of the game for Cambridge, but great coverage there by Flores along the near sideline. Let him go just at the last moment. There's a little bit of clutch and grabbing going on, but played cleanly defensively for the most part by Flores, and it's going to force a 3 and out for Cambridge.
Jones Lincoln as his punt rolls to midfield, taking the Cambridge roll right to midfield, and that's where the Highlander offense will take over as they continue to kick the ball away from number 4. Probably a good strategic plan, as we know what Ryan Lewis can do with the ball in his hands. The Highlanders will take over at midfield, leading 6-0 with 10:52 remaining in the first half.
And Lewis, such a weapon with his speed, and both of these teams can match each other in that category, speed on speed, but I think the Highlanders will happily take the field position here for their second drive on offense. An opportunity again now to tack on some more points with the ball right at the 50-yard line. Just over 10.5 to go in this second quarter, and a chance to make this Falcons defense work and make the clock work as well in your favor.
High formation with Pineda as the deep back. And once again, hard count there by Aries Osiris. Will be an offsides called against the Falcons. I believe the near side, number 43, jumped off along with a couple other Falcons there. As Hennessy Shaw, one of the Falcons, jumping off. So it'll be first down and 5 now for the Highlanders. They are into Cambridge territory at the 45-yard line.
Again, I already talked about it, Todd, but penalties add up, and it might only be 5 yards, right? But if you can get this Falcons defensive line to continue to jump and be unsure about the snap count, those 5 yards are going to keep adding up more and more.
Toss to Ishmael Mack this time. Mack's got a block out in front by Pineda, and he's free for the Highlander touchdown! As Ishmael Mack on the 45-yard run, with Marcos Pineda plowing the way, and the Highlanders lead this one 12-0.
So you can see the gap there, Todd, along the near sideline open up in real time with Pineda clearing the lane, and Ishmael Mack just had to make one cut to step ahead, and once he did, he was gone in the clear. No one was going to catch him once he struck in past the 40-yard line and carried it all the way to the house. 45 yards on just the second play of the drive for Somerville. They double up their lead just like that.
Senior Ishmael Mack, he got a touchdown last year on the hook and ladder on a third and 37 play that went for well over 80 yards and a touchdown at Dilboy. Now the 45-yard run, second or 2-point conversion, I should say, as Aries Osiris pounds that one in, and the Highlanders lead this one 14-0 here on Thanksgiving Day at Russell Field. The Highlanders out to a quick start, Tyler.
And speed kills, Todd, and that's been a trademark for the Highlanders all season long. When their legs are churning, when they're getting contributions on the ground for multiple players, it just makes them such a more challenging team to match up with offensively. The speed so evident early on, whether it's been Pineda extending plays with his legs and with his big carries, and then you get one big rip there from Ishmael Mack to quickly put 8 points on the board, and getting the 2-point conversion that time around, huge as well, after Marcos was stopped on that first drive. Keeps things a 2-score game here.
So Highlanders will kick this one away. 10:41 remaining in the first half. Highlanders with the 14-0 lead now. We have seen all year head coach Dave Pereira loves the onside kick. They've kicked away twice this game. We will see what they will do in this situation.
I think early on, Todd, if you're the Highlanders, you have to have trust in your defense here. With how things have started out, you've been able to keep this Falcons offense bottled up, especially through the air, which they can be dangerous with big plays, but curious to see what the kickoff approach is. Looks like they will send it away down the field, but we'll see.
Flores now kicks this one away. Line drive kick fielded by Lewis as he's brought down across the 30 at the Highlander, or I should say at the Cambridge 35-yard line. That's where Cambridge will start their third offensive drive here. Highlanders scoring on their first two offensive drives. Cambridge held to no points through the first quarter. 3 and out their last time with the ball as the Highlander defense has looked very good, Tyler.
And for these Highlanders here on defense, you want to see if you can try and continue to flush Derridge and get him on the move out of the pocket with happy feet back there. We've seen that a couple of times, and when he's been bouncing around trying to look for those options in the deep threat down the field, it's led to him taking some hits early on in the game. And if you can keep a quarterback off schedule and off his feet, off balance, it's going to make Cambridge really difficult for them to get to what they want to do offensively in this game. It's what we've seen so far.
Green goes in motion, trip receivers to the left side. Derridge looks that way, pulls the ball back down, and he'll get about a yard as he moved up into the pocket. Once again, there was Pineda causing trouble in the offensive backfield for the Falcons. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for Cambridge.
Looked like a little bit of indecision there from Derridge once he was forced to climb up through the pocket there. I thought he was going to tuck it and try and run, but he didn't have a chance to with Kerry Alphonse coming in to wrap him up and bring him down. Just nobody getting open, nobody able to get open downfield. The coverage on point to start this game here for the Highlanders.
Yeah, JoJo Flores at the corner position on the near side, Ishmael Mack on the far side, Ryan Lewis as well at the cornerback position. Great athleticism for the Highlanders as Derridge back to pass again. Looking downfield, but down the middle of the field there, and there's going to be a pass interference call as the ball was intended for Jovin's Exome. And it looks like the Highlanders are going to get whistled for the pass interference as Giovanni Fiore was downfield. The safety for the Highlanders over top reached in. I think he's going to get whistled for that pass interference. So 1st down and 10 now for Cambridge as they will be across midfield on the penalty to the Highlander 49-yard line.
Yeah, Mar was back there as well, along with Fiore. Derridge just heaving that almost right into double coverage, hoping that Exome could try and come down and pull that ball. But you saw the arm of Fiore just come over top, behind, and over the receiver there. And looked like the referee hesitated a bit whether or not to throw the flag, but ultimately pass interference to call.
And the give to Jean-Baptiste on the left-hand side. He is spun down by Usman Kaba as he could not get to the corner. A gain of about 1 on the play for the Falcons. 2nd down and 9 now.
And coming into this game, Cabo along with Pineda, the two Highlanders with over 60 tackles coming into this game this season. And you just see why. They put their head down and they just go to work. They get to the ball no matter what the cost is. And Caba seems to always be first leading the way onto those tackles. And after the penalty goes against the Highlanders, that's a huge stop there, just a gain of 1.
2nd down and 9 now for the Falcons.
We really haven't seen Cambridge go to the run that much here to start this game.
Derridge back to pass again, looks to the left side. Pass out there looking for Exome, and Exome unable to hang on as that was right in his hands. Looked like he tried to run with that one before he had it. And the ball popped right out. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 now for the Falcons. Big drop there.
Yeah, thinking about getting some extra yards there after a potential catch, but in order to do that, you've got to catch the ball first, and just took his eyes off it there for a split second, and that's a break that the Highlanders will happily take to keep this at 3rd and 9.
Big 3rd down here for Cambridge as they trail by 2 touchdowns, 14-0. Need to get something on this offensive possession. Derridge back in the shotgun.
You don't have to pick up all 9 here on this play. As got another flag here.
Yep, flag there as Nico Santos came in motion. False start will be the call, so they'll tack 5 more on. It will be a 3rd and 14 now for the Falcons. Falcons, the penalties piling up for the Falcons. I believe that is their 4th or 5th penalty.
At least the 3rd that's been on a false starter. There was offsides as well earlier on the defense. Just a A lot of jumpiness down there right now for the Falcons. They've got to try and find a way to settle here. Still fairly early. Got just over 8.5 to go here in the first half, and 3rd and 14 now. Just compounding problems with these penalties. Got to try and pick up a chunk here to set up 4th and manageable.
3rd and 14, trip receivers to the near side as Jean-Baptiste comes in motion. Darridge back to pass, goes downfield, bounces through 2 hands, and it winds up with the Highlanders as Fiore has the interception. Giovanni Fiore, the strong safety, kept his concentration. The ball passed through a Highlander hands, then a Falcon hands, and Fiore comes up with the pick, and the Highlanders have it in Falcon territory, leading by 2 touchdowns.
Well, amazing that Fiore was able to come down with the ball. Excellent concentration after it changed directions not once but twice. Off a Highlander defender originally, through the hands of the impending receiver. And Fiore, who got tacked with that PI call that backed things up 15 yards. He gets rewarded there. Right place, right time, and a good return as well on that pick. His first of the season. No better time to get it here on Thanksgiving Day.
No doubt about it, as the Highlanders have it 1st down and 10 from the Falcon 43-yard line. I formation behind Osiris. And Aries will keep it as he pounds right up the middle. That big front for the Highlander offense, just making room for Aries Osiris as he gets about 6 yards on that carry. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Highlanders.
You had Lopez leading the way, Bernier leading the way. The big boys up front for the Highlanders just trying to clear as much space as they can and push those defenders for the Falcons back. It's a good gain of 7 to follow things up after the pick, and this is a drive here for the Highlanders where in this first half of play they can really put their stamp on things, turning a turnover into points.
That left-hand side of the offensive line, Emilio Lopez as well as Cedric Bernier. That's where they're going to run once again, this time with Pineda as he spins across the 30 for the Highlander 1st down at the Cambridge 28-yard line. Highlanders running on that left-hand side, running off that left-hand side of the offensive line. Emilio Lopez at the guard position, Cedric Bernier at the tackle position. And of course, the big captain of the offensive line at the center position, Jesus Munoz. They are really doing the job up front for the Highlanders today.
It's just been a consistent unit all year long, hasn't it, Todd? And when you have a team that is so dependent on the run with a lot of athletes that they can deploy out in the backfield, you can only get so far as your line in front of you, and everybody just working in tandem here to start.
As Osiris gives it to the up-back carry, Alphonse. Alphonse brought down quickly after a gain of about a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Flags down again. Extracurriculars after the play. As Christian Termino pleading his case with the official.
It seemed like it was a late flag there tossed in after the play was dead on contact, so we'll see here as the officials will have a conference at about the 35 or so yard line.
See what this call will be. As we saw, once Termino got up, he was pleading his case to the official. It's going to be unsportsmanlike against the Highlanders.
So each team's picked up at least one flag here for unsportsmanlike in the first half.
Rivalry game.
I was going to say, I suppose you could expect that, right? Thanksgiving Day between two programs that are plenty familiar with each other on this stage. A long-standing rivalry between Somerville and now Cambridge Ringe Latin.
Yep.
Happy to see them playing here on Thanksgiving morning. I know in the past a couple of these games have been played on the eve of Thanksgiving,
yes,
but it just feels so much more appropriate to have the tradition be played out on the day of the holiday.
136th time these two teams have faced one another. The Highlanders have 74 wins in the season, or in the series. Cambridge with 43 wins in the series. 18 times these two teams have tied. As there is a timeout on the field, that'll give me the opportunity also to talk about some of the other all-stars throughout the fall sports for the Highlanders. The volleyball team, a great job for the girls volleyball team as they went back to the playoffs, got a playoff victory against Revere, hosting Revere in the playoffs into their season 16-6 with a loss at Minnechaug in the round of 32. 2 All-Stars on the team, the second straight year. Kate Timmons and Alexis Bowie, all GBL All-Stars for the second straight year. Those 2 seniors now will head off, but leading a great organization there for the girls volleyball team as the future is bright for Somerville girls volleyball moving forward after that great season. Alexis Bowie, of course, as well at the festival, at the fall sports pep rally yesterday. She also is the Somerville champion at musical chairs. I just wanted to point that out as well. Congratulations, Alexis. I know that means a lot to you.
Winning in all facets.
She's a winner. That's all Alexis Bowie is. Second down now and long for the Highlanders. It's a screen to Mack. He's got it, and he's got Emilio Lopez in front of him. And we're going to tack on an extra 15 for a face mask as the Highlanders get a big gain on the screen to Mack.
And the penalty is going to help him out even more, as I didn't see who it was for the Falcons, but I certainly saw an arm and a hand come over the top of Mack's right shoulder, trying to bring him down. And I suppose that's what you've got to resort to, right? To try and slow down a player like Ishmael Mack, especially after he just ripped off a 45-yard touchdown. But there's the signal for face mask. And a big completion there. It was 2nd and 20 after the unsportsmanlike call to the Highlanders. We really haven't seen Aries have to drop back necessarily and use his arm like that, but that's just a smart play by a quarterback who knows where he's at, knows where things are at currently in this game. You get the ball into the hands of your speedster and let him do the rest.
Ishmael Mack picks up the first down with the addition of the face mask penalty. First down and 10 for the Highlanders at the Falcons 16, leading 14-0. 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half. So the Highlanders look to tack on to that 2-touchdown lead. High formation behind Aries Osiris. Pineda is the deep back. Ryan Lewis, 2 receivers here to the near side. He's the outside receiver, but the give is to Pineda as he powers through the hole at the line of scrimmage. He's brought down after a gain of about 4 or 5. As I believe number 6, Sebastian Ere, the linebacker, came in and tripped him up in the hole. Pineda had a long way he could have run if he had not been tripped up.
There was some help, too, coming in as well on that tackle, and I think that's something you've started to see a little bit more of from the Falcons. Not just one guy leading the way to try and bring down these Highlander ball carriers, whether it's been Pineda or Mack. Crystal Ferretti coming in as well to help things out for Cambridge.
2nd and 5. The give is to Pineda off that left side again, and Marcos Pineda powers for the Highlander touchdown. As the Highlanders just running on that left-hand side, running behind that power of Cedric Bernier, Evelio Lopez, and Jesus Munoz. And Pineda has found pay dirt for the second time today as he gets the touchdown. Highlanders lead 20-0, pending the point after.
And if it ain't broke, Todd, don't fix it. They have continued to rely on that left side of the line. They continue to rely on Marcos Pineda, who just continues to churn his legs and just refuses to go down on initial contact. I believe that was number 52, Kenny Duperval, who tried to bring him down by around the ankles. So there's a Cambridge player down. I believe it is Duperval, number 52. He was the last man in to try and stop Pineda before he broke the plane there. But once Marcos gets into that kind of vicinity, he's going to fight every inch he can get to pick up the 6 points. And the Highlanders opening things up more and more here and continuing to use the clock to their advantage. That one, not as quick as Ishmael Mack's 45-yard strike, but it continues to add points on all the same, and it continues to wear down these Falcons here on defense. Their offense has really not seen much of the field, Todd, here in this first half, and that's how Somerville wants to keep things.
2-point conversion here for the Highlanders. As Pineda once again the deep back behind Osiris. Up back is Kerry Alphonse. And Osiris will keep as he's pushed across the goal line for the 2 points. And the Highlanders lead this one 22-0 with 5:22 remaining in the first half.
And just again, more support coming from behind Osiris. I believe that was Kerry Alphonse just giving him the extra boost to get through the pile.
Tush push.
It is a group effort. And I think the tush push is something that we're starting to see incorporated more and more.
Actually, we're going to have another 2-point conversion. They did get in for the 2-point conversion, but there was no official play. So we'll try it again. Re-rack it.
Redo, and looks like it's Matt coming in. You've got Pineda as well, the usual suspects. Ryan Lewis as well. He'll leak out to the left side a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if Osiris just tries to put his head down and pick this up.
Timeout taken by the Highlanders, looking for this 2-point conversion. 5:22 remaining in the first half. Highlanders with a 20-0 lead, shutting out the Falcons here at the backyard battle. A rivalry for the picket fence. Highlanders able to reobtain that picket fence after Cambridge had a 4-game win streak. Highlanders had 4-game win streak previous to that. Highlanders looking to build a 2-game win streak here over the Falcons and keep hold of that picket fence once again. And off to a great start here in this first half, leading 20-0 with 5:22 remaining in the half. Highlanders looking to tack on another 2 points as they were called for the infraction on that first attempt, or actually it was not a live 2-point conversion on that first attempt when they got in.
And that was smart by Osiris. You could tell there was a level of uncertainty there before they got grouped up there at the line. He took a quick look back over to the sideline, and when you're not sure about something, doesn't matter what it is, take a moment to talk things over. That never hurts, and now you can regroup here. Quick sip of water, quick talk with coach, and approach things here on this 2-point conversion. Every point here is valuable, even though you've got a comfortable looking 20-0 lead.
High formation behind Osiris. Pineda spread out here to the left side. It's Ishmael Mack as the deep back. Once again, they're going to have Osiris lean forward, push from behind, but he's not able to get in. So the 2-point conversion did not make it in. 20-0, the Highlander lead. 5:22 remaining in the first half. About the only thing not working for the Highlanders right now are their 2-point conversions. They've converted only 1 of 3.
Yeah, stopped again there, and that time the tush push was met well by the Falcons. That was Sebastian Oray in there along with Kelvin Ferreira, the big defensive end. Just stuffing things as power meets power just at about the goal line. Looked like they tried to get Osiris maybe up and over the pile with Kerry Alphonse once again being the pusher in that tush push. But something for Cambridge to take out of at least is they've been able to come up with some stops on these 2-point conversions. It's just been everywhere else on the field. They've had a hard time trying to slow down these runners for the Highlanders. 20-0 with 5:22 to go, and looking down at this Highlanders sideline, they're an excited group. They're ahead right now, but they're composed, and I think that's an important thing here with a lot of game left to go.
Whistles all over. We'll re-kick this one.
It looked like similar to the 2-point conversion. The players seem to be ready to go for it, but I don't think the officials and everyone else was quite necessarily on the same page, so they'll line things back up for this kick. And blustering conditions on this Thanksgiving morning, Todd. We haven't really seen the ball travel all too much through the air, and we'll see if the Falcons can use that to their advantage, get a short kick, and try and return it to get good yardage.
Flores ready to send this one away for the Highlanders.
Flores the kick.
And line drive kick, bobbled at the 20-yard line, picked up there by Lewis as he brings it here to the near side, gets around the corner, and is brought down at the Cambridge 38-yard line. Good return there by Lewis. You see it a lot of times. The coverage will break down when the ball is bobbled slightly. I think that happened a little bit for the Highlanders there, but Ryan Lewis able to wrap up the tackle at the 38-yard line, and that's where Cambridge will begin their 4th possession as they have been turned away in their first 3 by the Highlander defense. The Highlander defense doing exactly what they want to do, applying pressure and preventing that Cambridge athleticism from developing or being able to be shown.
Yeah, we've seen the Highlanders' speed offensively on the ground, but with this Falcons team, we're used to their speed down the sidelines and through the air. But Darridge, despite having some time, just hasn't been able to find anybody open. It's a testament to how the coverage has been in this first half for Somerville.
As Darridge gets the snap, the give is to Lewis here on the near side on the counter, as he'll get the first down and more up to midfield and beyond as he's into Highlander territory. As the Falcons, good play call, taking advantage of the aggressiveness of the Highlanders, running that counter to Lewis against the movement of the play.
You've got Kamani Green as well, signaled in motion. He came back around the other end, and that's just trying to keep the Highlanders honest as to who's going to ultimately take the handoff on that snap, and instead they opt for Lewis, who's seemingly touched the ball the most on offense for this Falcons side, a side that hasn't really spent a lot of time on offense. But we'll see how they try and mix in the ground game here with the clock ticking down, and they need to try and get a score before halftime if they want to get themselves feeling good here in this game.
1st and 10 from the Highlander 46-yard line. As Darridge fakes the handoff, goes back to pass, looking downfield for Santos. That ball out of bounds. Santos made the catch, but well out of bounds was Nico Santos. Covered by Jojo Flores on that play. 4:09 remaining in the half. It'll be 2nd down now for the Falcons. As you pointed out, Tyler, they are in need of a score here as they trail 20-0. Highlander defense has been able to do what they want out on the field against the Falcons. Falcons only securing 3 first downs so far here in the first half.
When you pick up a great gain on the ground with Lewis, then trying to go back through the air where things really haven't been clicking in this first half, and now that stops the clock and sets you up at a 2nd and long. Got to try and pick up yards however you can and however many you can, and the offensive approach, I think, is going to need some adjustments here from Cambridge if they want to really move these chains.
The give is to Lewis, this time to the far side. He's got speed over there, breaks the tackle, and he's through as he will be downfield for the Falcon touchdown. Big play there by Jamai Lewis as he's able to get the Falcons on the board with the 46-yard touchdown jaunt.
Well, that's a huge, huge score on the ground from Lewis, who's arguably, or without any argument, been their most effective player when he's had the ball in his hands and was able to break away a couple of tackles. It looked like DeRozier was trying to come in first through the line to try and bring him down, but lost his footing and stumbled a bit there. That allowed for a lane to open up along the left side, and a couple of more tackles broken on the way down through that 46-yard run. And that's exactly what Cambridge was looking for now, to get points up on the board and get some believability instilled back into their offense.
Extra point attempt here for the Falcons. Snap not good as Batchelor will throw into the end zone. The holder had to take that ball and try to make something out of it as the snap was not good for Max Batchelor. And the conversion attempt no good for the Falcons. So the score is 20-6 with just under 4 minutes remaining. Now here is the double edge of that quick score by Lewis on that 46-yard run. Now the Highlanders have 3 minutes and 56 seconds to add to their lead here in the first half, leading by 14, 20-6, as they will await the kickoff from the Falcons.
While the 6 points are important for this Cambridge team to get that goose egg off the board, you said it perfectly, Todd. There's a lot of time still left in the half, and that was an opportunity for a team that hasn't really possessed the ball a lot in this first half on offense to try and whittle the clock down a bit and make the Highlanders work on defense. Now you're going to give them the ball back here with plenty of time with how they've been able to move things on the ground to, at the very least, threaten here and tax your defense some more before halftime.
Pete Marr, Ryan Lewis back deep for the Highlanders to return. Joseph Darridge ready to send this one away for the Falcons in the onside. I was wondering about that. The Falcons pick it up as it took the Sunday hop right into the hands of Sebastian Array And the Falcons will have the ball at the Highlander 48-yard line after the onside kick recovery by Aragao.
And while that ball does take a Cambridge hop for sure, looked like the Highlanders were just caught a bit off guard there as well, perhaps maybe not expecting the onside kick, but it certainly did take a favorable hop into the arms of Array, and now, instead of giving the ball back, Cambridge is going to get it right back, and this is where they really need to try and work the clock into their favor and possess this ball for as long as they can, if not the rest of what remains in this first half. 3:56 to go. That's a huge play on special teams to get possession right back after getting a score.
Great opportunity for the Falcons, as they've also found a way to get Lewis free offensively. Jean-Baptiste still in the backfield along with Darridge. Two receivers here to the near side, one at the top of the screen for the Falcons. As the fake, downfield, Darridge looking, overthrows that one as he tried to hook up with Jovin's Exome. And a flag down as Exome is applauding the flag. We'll see what the call is going to be. It could go against the Highlanders. That would be tough for the Highlanders if it goes against them. Timeout being taken by the Highlanders. Unsportsmanlike is going to be the call. I think they're going to get Ishmael Mack with the unsportsmanlike. And that will be a 15-yard and first down. 15 yards and a first down for Cambridge.
This is where the composure element is so important, and the Highlanders have kept their emotions in check here for the most part in this first half, but we talked about with Cambridge how penalties can start to add up and work against you. Something here late in the first half you don't want to see start springing up for the Highlanders, especially after the momentum can swing with Cambridge retrieving things on that onside kick.
Cambridge trailed 20-0. Big 46-yard run by Jemai Lewis got them on the board, 20-6. Onside kick recovery, and now an unsportsmanlike conduct, and they have the ball first down and 10 from the Highlander 33-yard line. 3:48 remaining in the half, as Cambridge looks to cut into this 14-point Highlander lead. Pineda sneaking up, and he's called for the offsides as he jumped. He was going to be blitzing off that far side, but came across too early off the hard count from Darridge. First down and 5 now for Cambridge as they keep moving the ball downfield, this time from the Highlander 28-yard line, 1st and 5.
Ball keeps moving up the field. Clock not doing a whole lot of moving though. 2 penalties in about a span of 8 or 10 seconds.
As the give to the near side, Jean-Baptiste, as he is wrapped up after the gain of about 8 on the play. First down and 10 for the Falcons.
That was another tackle there from Fiore. Deep there to meet him, but he wrapped him up well to bring him down.
Giovanni Fiore got the interception earlier in this half. First down and 10 from the 21 for the Falcons. Clock rolls, 3:10 remaining in the half. Falcons looking to cut into this 14-point Highlander lead. 4 receivers out for Darridge. Lewis is in motion, and they pitch it to him on the jet sweep. And there is Usman Kaba from behind, making the tackle on Lewis. Lewis unable to get to the corner because Kaba was too fast getting to him. And a gain of just about a yard on that play. Great play by the GBL All-Star Usman Kaba.
It looked a little bit like Randy Orton, where from behind, and Lewis with great speed and deception on that pitch and toss. Just didn't really have anywhere to get around the end of that left side of the line, and Kaba from the backside just brings him down. That's a huge tackle. Only about a gain of 1 on that play as the clock now runs down. And if you're Cambridge, you don't have to hurry here necessarily.
2nd and 9 for the Falcons. Clock rolls down to about 2 minutes remaining in the half. It's Darridge rolling here to the near side. Fires it towards the corner, too far. Trying to hook up there with Nico Santos at that back pylon of the end zone. Too far out of bounds, though incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and 9 for the Falcons. Minute 48 remaining in the half.
We're got 3rd down.
Santos got good separation there too, trying to work his way to that back corner of the end zone, but Darridge just put a little too much air on that, floated it well out past the end zone there.
Big 3rd down here for the Falcons that have to believe they're in 4-down territory here, trailing by 2 touchdowns at the end of this half. Darridge once again in the shotgun. Trip receivers to the near side. Lewis is the inside receiver. Darridge out to Jean-Baptiste. Jean-Baptiste tries to get to the corner, but Pete Marr says, "No, sir, you may not." As Marr wraps him up and sends him down. It'll be 4th down and 8 for the Falcons after a gain of 1 on the 3rd down play.
And there's more great tackling here by this Highlander defense. No one's overcommitting. Grips are strong. There's no 2nd or 3rd chances to pick up any additional yards after contact. And Marr, who was involved in an earlier PI call that ended up getting picked up by Fiore, just shows good tackling for him there to bring his man down for just a gain of 1.
Clock rolls, a minute 10 remaining in the half, as Cambridge will run this clock down. 4th down and 8 is the down and distance from the Highlander 20-yard line.
Falcons have seemingly relied more and more on those short passing plays. We've seen a lot of those screen passes from Darridge, which allows for him to not have to dance around so much there in the backfield and have to vacate the pocket. He hasn't really used his legs too much, trying to put it instead into the arms of guys like Lewis or Jean-Baptiste, who this time tried the right side, Todd, but with Marr there in good coverage, just nothing there to the edge.
Timeout on the field, 51 seconds remaining in the half. It'll be 4th down and 8 when play returns for the Falcons. Give me a second here to talk more about those fall sports for the Highlanders. A great soccer season for both boys and girls soccer. Both made the playoffs yet again. 4th straight playoff appearance for the boys soccer team as Marco Hoxhalley and Hector Bermudez were the Highlander All-Stars in a GBL All-Stars. Hector, Marco Hoxhalley as well, was named an All-Star by the Eastern Massachusetts Soccer Coaches Association in addition to being a GBL All-Star. Great season for the senior Marco Hoxhalley. And over on the girls' side of the soccer pitch, it was Camila Plata, the GBL MVP, joined by Annika Johnson as a GBL All-Star as the girls' soccer team went back to the playoffs yet again this past season as well. Of course, Plata and Johnson will be back next year for the Highlanders, both of them just juniors. So a bright future on the soccer pitch for the Highlanders. 4th down and 8, huge 4th down play here for the Falcons, trailing by 2 touchdowns late in this first half. As Darridge calls out the signals, he's got 4 receivers, joined in the backfield by Jean-Baptiste. Darridge back to pass, looking for Exholm. He's got him open, and that is complete as Exholm able to bring that one down inside the 10-yard line as Jojo Flores tackles him there. But the Falcons get the big first down and keep this drive alive on that 4th down conversion. Clock rolls, 35 seconds remaining as they try to get this play in quickly.
It's a huge tackle there by Flores, at least to initially save his score. But on a have-to-have it 4th down, that's a big completion from Darridge, looking over to that left side of the flat.
1st and goal from the 4. So Falcons look to get into the end zone. Darridge throws that one incomplete. Good coverage by Brian Lewis over there as they were looking for Hugo Davis at that back pylon. 13 seconds remaining in the half. Falcons will have it 2nd down and goal from the Highlander 4.
For a flag, too, that perhaps in the back of the the end zone, but none coming here late towards the end of this first half.
Yeah, good coverage there by Ryan Lewis, not getting flagged for a pass interference on that play. As Garage has the play now for the Falcons. They have trip receivers to the near side. Single receiver at the top is Hugo Davis. The inside slot receiver, the near receiver on this near side is Jemai Lewis. Keep an eye on him, number 7. As Darridge rolling out here to the near side. He's trying to find somebody. Nobody's there, and he's going to throw that one away. As the pressure was getting to him, rolling here to the near side, it will be 3rd down and goal for the Falcons from the 9-yard line. I had it at the 4. Our angle of appearance, the angle of our look is a little low, so my yardages are a little bit off. But it is 3rd down and goal from the 9 now for the Falcons. 6 seconds remaining here in the half. Could be the last play of the half for the Falcons.
Have to think Darridge is going to drop back here and take a shot at the end zone. I thought he would tuck the ball and try and pick up some yards, get a little closer to the goal line after he rolled out there to his right, but Highlanders in their secondary in particular, just everything covered in that back end of the end zone.
Jemai Lewis now on the far side. He's the slot receiver on the far side, number 7. He's been very critical to their offensive attack on the jet sweep. And he once again is in motion. Fake to him. Darridge throws that one looking for Davis. Incomplete. Ryan Lewis had coverage, and the flag comes in late.
I thought the tackle was made by Lewis.
We'll see what this flag was. Is it's going to be pass interference. Lewis is going to get whistled for the pass interference. 2 seconds remaining in the half, and now Cambridge will have that opportunity. 1st down. Actually, on the pass interference, it is no longer an automatic 1st down on the pass interference. That changed last year. So we will see. It could remain a 3rd down. Not that that matters very much, because there's only enough time for 1 play remaining. 2 ticks left on the clock as the Falcons have it deep in Highlander territory, looking to cut into this 14-point lead that the Highlanders have built in the first half. It's been a great first half for the Highlanders as they began on the defensive side. They were able to stop the first Cambridge drive. Then Marcos Pineda got into the end zone for the Highlanders on a 10-yard run. Highlanders then were able to get into the end zone again after a 3-and-out by the Cambridge offense on a 45-yard touchdown run by Ishmael Mack. Then the Highlanders got a turnover, an interception by Giovanni Flores. As he was able to pick up that interception, Highlanders got into the end zone again. Another run by Pineda got them their 3rd touchdown. But then the Falcons have battled back here late in the first half as a 46-yard run by Jemai Lewis got them onto the board. And then the onside kick. And this is the drive resulting from that onside kick as they look to cut into the 2-touchdown lead for the Highlanders.
It's a huge juncture here before we hit the half, as Cambridge has an opportunity to, at the very least, try and pick up 6 more points before the break, make this an 8-point game. Highlanders haven't had to spend all this much time defending, but they're going to need to come up with their biggest defensive stop here.
5 yards to pay dirt for the Falcons. Darridge calls out the signals. He's got 4 receivers out there. He's got Jean-Baptiste in the backfield with him. Remember, number 7, that slot position on the far side. He's going to roll here to the near side, looking for the pick play, and they get it for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Cambridge!
As they ran the pick play, and coming across it for the Falcon touchdown was Santos making the catch. As Darridge found Santos, Highlander defender on that play got knocked off by the crossing receivers. So the Falcons now have cut this lead down to 8, 20-12, pending the extra point.
Let's see if they can execute things better here on this point after try.
Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up by Darridge, and it is no good. So it will be an 8-point Highlander lead as we go to the half here from Russell Field in Cambridge. The battle for the picket fence. The Highlanders lead it by 8, 20-12, as we will be back for second half coverage here on Somerville Ed TV. All right. We are back here at Russell Athletic Complex in Cambridge. The backyard rivalry, the battle for the picket fence, as we are about to begin second half action here on Somerville Ed TV. Todd Harmon alongside Tyler Aragao. Tyler, Highlanders came out, did what they wanted to do at the beginning of that first half. They scored 3 touchdowns, got the 20-0 lead. 2 touchdown runs by Marcos Pineda, a huge 45-yard touchdown run by Ishmael Mack. But then the Falcons came storming back towards the end of the half. Big 46-yard touchdown run for their runner, Jemai Lewis, as well as an onside kick recovery. And with the last play of the half, they were able to get into the end zone to cut it to an 8-point Highlander lead, 20-12, and that's where we find ourselves here in the second half, Tyler.
Well, for the Highlanders to start this game, it was the usual suspects following the usual script, and it allowed for them to get out to a not only 20-point lead, but it allowed for them to control things in a lot of different areas, and more particular the clock. That first quarter, time of possession was probably about 80-20, if not 90-10 for the Highlanders. They were able to score, they were able to capitalize on a turnover, they were able to do a lot of good things in that first half, including keeping the Falcons offense off the field. But a real testament to Cambridge here on this Thanksgiving morning, down 20-0 at home, final game of the season, the rivalry here on Thanksgiving Day with a lot at stake. They were able to pull themselves up off the mat, and it was really important for them to do so late in that second quarter, getting plays made from their usual suspects as well, and in particular with Lewis getting the score. That really seemed to galvanize them a bit, making it 20-6, but huge plays down the stretch from Cambridge to convert and make this now an 8-point game, and we'll see how the Highlanders can try and respond here in this second half. They did a lot of things right in that first half, but now you've got to move things forward and approach things maybe a little differently with this Cambridge side looking a lot more rejuvenated.
Of course, discipline comes into play. Both teams suffered some personal fouls, some sportsmanlike conduct penalties. A couple tough ones late for the Highlanders, pass interference as well, as the Highlanders began to have that break down a little bit. That discipline broke down a little bit for the Highlanders late in that half, and that really helped the Falcons out as well.
And it was something that in the first portion of the game that seemed to really throw Cambridge for a bit of a loop with a couple of offside and false starts penalties, tacking on 5 extra yards, and those flags can really add up. Both these teams have had some disciplinary issues, you could say, with those personal fouls being called, and for the Highlanders, I know there were a couple maybe late before the half ended that they would have liked to have had back a pass interference call against, and then perhaps a potential pick play as well that was missed, ultimately leading to the second touchdown for Cambridge. But you've got to put all that behind you here in the first half, almost wipe the slate clean as if this is a scoreless game, and see how you can start things off receiving the ball here in the second half.
Cambridge, of course, had that onside kick. They will be kicking away here at the beginning of the second half. Highlanders in their onside coverage formation as the hands players are up at the front. Ishmael Mack is back to return. It's kicked towards the sideline, dropped in behind that front line, and the Falcons tried to chase that one down, chase down that placement and get to the ball before a Highlander could get to it. It got out of bounds, so that will be the infraction against the Falcons on the kickoff out of bounds. Highlanders will get the ball here to open out the second half. We'll see where they end up marking this ball after the infraction is stepped off. But the Highlander offense will begin out on the field. Highlander offense, we didn't see them very much towards the end of that first half after the onside kick, the score, and then the onside kick by the Falcons. So the Highlander offense will get the opportunity back out onto the field. They've been very, very successful today as they scored on each of their drives in the first half.
And getting production again from the usual suspects, Marcos Pineda and Ishmael Mack. I believe Aries Osiris has only attempted 2 passes so far in this game, both of them screens on short plays. I would expect the script to stay the same here in this second half, attacking the ground, attacking this defense, and throwing multiple looks at them.
The one name we've not said offensively, number 4, Ryan Lewis. He is deep in this offensive formation, taking the snap as Lewis looks to get to the edge. As he's got the edge and more, as he breaks downfield, but he's stepped out around midfield. as he just got a toe over the out-of-bounds line at the 48 of the Falcons. But Ryan Lewis, like I said, we didn't say his name in the first half offensively, opens out the second half with a first down run for the Highlanders.
You had a feeling that was going to have to change at some point in this game, right? Lewis coming in with just 5 yards shy of 400 in this game, 6 touchdowns to lead the Highlanders on the ground. Toe tapping along the sideline a bit there, a la Gene Kelly. Way to stay just enough in bounds to get a good enough pickup, but it looked for a moment like he was going to break away down that near sideline all the way to the house.
Wildcat formation again, Ryan Lewis to take the snap again. He'll go to the far side this time. That's the strong side. Cuts it up. That time Cambridge looks to wrap him up. Ryan keeps those legs going though and picks up an extra couple yards at the end of that carry. 2nd down and 6 is where the Highlanders will find themselves after the 4-yard carry across midfield into Cambridge territory.
You know, I say only a 4-yard pickup there, but it's only because of that extra effort, fighting through the contact to pick up that extra yard or two. So instead of just a 2-yard pickup and a 2nd and 8 facing, now you're at 2nd and 6, and things are feeling like they're a little bit more manageable at that point for the Highlanders, and that's what the ground game can do for you, Todd. It allows for you to extend plays on offense and make this defense have to continue working to just try and bring down Lewis. A host of Falcons there.
As Lewis counters back to the weak side.
Ball's
now
out.
ball is out. And Johnny on the spot for the Highlanders. Number 58, Chris DeRochers, able to pick that one up as the fumble by Lewis. Ball rolled forward a little bit. DeRochers was able to pick up a yard or two as well to be a 3rd down and 4 for the Highlanders at the Cambridge 45-yard line. As we've seen the Highlanders come out here in the second half in that Wildcat formation. Ryan Lewis running it. Let's see what they do here as Osiris in the huddle. They'll go back to the I formation here with Pineda, the deep back. Kerry Alphonse, the up back.
Really the first time we've seen Cambridge or either any of the defense get a chance to attack the ball and get a punch out there, but real good job by DeRocher to jump on top.
Flags thrown. Cambridge moved on that one.
That's something we've seen a lot here in this game, Todd. A lot of movement, whether it's been on the offensive line
But
or
it's
the
going to be the
defensive line.
Highlanders who suffer the penalty on that one. Cambridge, a little bit of motion, but a little bit of movement, but they did not jump. And then the Highlanders get called for the false start. So it'll be a 3rd down and 9 now for the Highlanders. Tough penalty there as they're backed up to midfield.
It's funny because I was trying to process that real quick. I saw the false start signaled, but then I saw the official point over to the Falcons side and figured that would have to be on the Highlanders, and that's tough because it pretty much wipes out all the gains that Lewis was able to pick up on those last 2 carries.
3rd down and 9 now. Shotgun formation. 4 receivers, 4 Osiris. He will go downfield looking for Pineda. And just a little bit too high and outside as Marcos Pineda went up looking for that ball. Could not come down with it. It'll be 4th down and 9 for the Highlanders, and the punt team will come on. That's just what the Falcons wanted as they were able to stop the Highlander offense for the first time today here at the opening of the second half. Falcons will get the ball back trailing by 8 here early in the second half.
And again, penalties just doing no favors really for either team, but this time for the Highlanders trying to set the tone to start this second half, and a costly false start penalty backs you up to a 3rd and 9. Osiris tries to go through the air looking for Pineda, who had some separation only briefly, but a good job. That was Bellamy in coverage number 16 for Cambridge. Pass just a little too high.
Pineda, high snap. He's able to field it. Punt comes to the up man who drops it for a second, but now he's free and away to the far side of the field. That's DeMace Bellamy. As Bellamy, the up back on that punt return, was able to field the ball and move downfield near midfield, where Cambridge will get a good field position for their first possession of the second half. So the Falcons, trailing at one point in this game 20-0, have the opportunity on this possession to tie this game up. Highlander defense needs to stiffen.
Full marks to the Falcons here. game did not start how they wanted to, down in the early hole 20-0, but they finished the half off, picking up 12 points, a couple of scores. They executed on special teams, covering that onside kick, and now they're able to back the Highlanders into a quick 3-0 to get their offense back on the field. And a nice job by Bellamy, who bobbled it a bit. That's something we've seen on those kick returns for the Falcons. They've had a hard time getting possession necessarily off the original kick, but he's able to return it, setting them up in good position here on their own 45.
1st and 10 from the Cambridge 45. Man in motion is Green. Give is to Jean-Baptiste, and he has nowhere to go. As Kerry Alphonse was the first, then joined there by Krista Rochers, as well as the big man Marcos Pineda, as the Highlanders pushed that run by Jean-Baptiste back for a loss of 1. Host of Highlanders bringing down Jean-Baptiste.
Baptiste has had a couple of handoffs that have ended in similar fashion. He just hasn't been able to find any space or separation because the Highlanders have continued to commit to tackling by committee. It hasn't been just one man leading the charge, and DeRocher that time able to apply good support, helping out Kerry Alphonse to bring the runner down. 2nd
and 11 as Darridge rolls here to the near side under pressure from Alphonse. Throws that one. Interference is going to be the call again. Lewis gets called for the interference. This time they were trying to get to Hugo Davis. Flag down though.
Davis incomplete.
I have to question whether that was a catchable ball, but pass interference is going to be the call against the Highlanders.
Davis looked like he had his back to that pass the entire time. Didn't really turn until the last possible moment. Not going to argue that there wasn't contact or anything, but I'd have to agree there. That was a ball that was sailing a bit up over his head, and again, he really made a late turn to face up to that pass. Again, penalties compounding here a bit for the Highlanders. It's an area they've got to clean up here in the second half.
Automatic first down, or first down I should say, on the pass interference for the Falcons. So now they have it at the Highlander 41-yard line, 1st down and 10 after the pass interference call, keeping the drive alive.
This is a Cambridge team that's been able to pick up a lot of points.
Jean-Baptiste had nowhere to go. Christian Treminio, I should say, into that backfield, dropping Jean-Baptiste for a loss of 4 on the play. It will be 2nd down and 14. So the line of scrimmage now is the Highlander 45-yard line for the Falcons.
Jean-Baptiste, you can see him look over to that sideline there in a bit of frustration. He has just not been able to get himself turned up the field, as Treminio did a great job to get first into the backfield, get first hands onto the runner and bring him down. Just as I was about to say, with Cambridge being a team coming in, scoring 50 and 47 points in their last 2 games, 12 points here today, but you can feel offensively that their confidence could be growing here a bit. This is a huge play.
It's Darridge rolling to the near side, and there is Usman Kaba, as the Oos is loose for the sack. GBL All-Star Usman Kaba in for the sack, as Darridge had nowhere to go. Big loss of 10 on the play. 3rd down now for the Falcons. It will be 3rd and 23 as they are now flipped back to their field position from the Falcon 45 as the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's how you pretty much erase that PI penalty that was called. 2 big plays, 2 big hits coming into the backfield, and it's about the 2nd or 3rd time that the Highlanders have been able to get hands on to Darridge and bring him down here. That's huge from the defense to step up and show great resolve, not getting themselves unglued a bit here after some penalty trouble early in this second half. They're backed up now, 3rd and 18, all the way to the original spot of the ball at the 45-yard line.
3rd down and 18. Highlanders need to be clean on this one, not give up a penalty. As Darridge back to pass. Looking downfield, pressure is coming. Here comes Treminio. As he rolls out to the far side, the pass is complete. As Santos able to make the catch at the Highlander 32-yard line. It's not enough for the first down. It will be a 4th down and short now for the Falcons. 4th down and about 2, as there will go no huddle. Bunch receivers here to the near side. As Darridge will call this one out on 4th down. Back to pass again. Pressure is on. Kerry Alphonse. He slips it. Wide open is Hugo Davis. As Davis is brought down, but not until he gets the first down. Flag down on the play. As the Highlander discipline breaking down a bit here. We'll see what the call is. Personal foul called against the Falcons. And that will be marked off, I believe. That will be after the first down catch. So the 4th down conversion is good for the Falcons, and then they will mark off the personal foul after the catch. It will be first down for the Falcons. And 10 from where this ball is placed at the Highlander 36-yard line.
More extracurricular after a real great connection between Darridge and this time Hugo Davis.
Hang on 2 seconds, just trying to get the down and distance. It's going to be still a 4th down is listed.
Defense, get up,
So 4th down, it does appear. It'll be a 4th down and about 5 for the Falcons, according to the chains.
Defense, get up, defense, get up. Defense, get up, defense, get up.
So a 4th down once again here for the Falcons. So it looked like they converted a 4th down and short. Now it'll be a 4th down and about 6. So they have the ball at the Highlander 36-yard line. Flag down, too much time taken, or a timeout called. Let's see. Will they grant the timeout? They will.
And the Cambridge sideline wasn't too happy there. I think trying to get that timeout called before time expired there on the play clock.
4:47 remaining in the 3rd quarter as wild 4th down conversion attempt. Davis was able to get the first down, it appeared, but then a foul, personal foul called against the Falcons has brought it back. And now we have 4th down again. When we resume play, it will be 4th down, probably about 5, honestly, for the Falcons from the Highlander 36. The line to get is the Highlander 31-yard line when we return to play. Tyler, talk really quickly as well. We want to look ahead here at Somerville Ed TV. We don't just want to look at the fall, the success of the Highlander athletics in the fall. We got to look ahead as well, because we've got some great winter athletics coming up as well. Tyler, you and I will be going to the Veterans Rink, as a matter of fact, and seeing how the Highlander hockey team does. They've lost some offensive greatness, a couple 100-point scorers no longer on the team, graduating, moving on. It's going to be interesting to see what head coach Chris Capazzo can do.
Looking forward to being back at the Vet for, it's going to be our 4th year together, Todd, already working Highlander hockey. And of course, this year will be arguably our most different looking Highlander team. No more Matt DeAngelis. I got to catch up with Chris Casesso over the weekend, playing for the Islanders Hockey Club now in the USPHL over in Merrimack this past Sunday. Great to see Chris doing well at the next level of play, but we're excited to get the winter season started here as we close the curtain on the fall. Super proud of all of our fall athletes, though. You rattled through all their accomplishments. It was a heck of a fall season. And now we can start to turn a bit towards basketball and hockey, but not until we wrap things up here with this football game on this beautiful Thanksgiving morning.
Big 4th down here. Darridge rolling out to the far side. He will throw that one out there, and that is incomplete. Incomplete, as his foot was on the line. Turnover on downs will go to the Highlanders, as the Cambridge sideline stunned that pass was not complete. The official right on top of it, pointing down to the sideline where the foot was on the line.
Todd, it just looked like that ball was hanging up in the air a bit too long from Darridge. It forced the receiver to have to come back to try and make a play on it, and while he was able to catch it the way that ball was just hanging and floating up into the air, it forced him to track things back towards his own sideline. It looked like he lost where he was at the field, and although he did come back to make the catch, had to slide out of bounds to do so, and that's a huge break for the Highlanders to force that turnover on downs after Derridge was able to come up with a huge play on 3rd and 18 to set up a 4th and manageable before penalties again just come in and compound issues.
As this is the give to Ishmael Mack. He'll bounce it to the outside, turn the corner, and he goes for the Highlander first down. Great run there by Mack as he picks up 11 yards on the run. First down and 10 for the Highlanders. Highlanders leading this one by 8, 20-12. 4 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Highlanders' second possession here of the second half as they get a first down right off the bat up near midfield to the Highlander 47-yard line. That's the line of scrimmage. First down and 10 as the Highlanders look to add to their 8-point lead.
This is what you want to see from the Highlanders after getting stopped for the first time on offense last time around. Go back to the ground game, back to what's been working. Ishmael Mack, to no one's surprise, leading the way in that category. Marcos Pineda here fanned out to the left side.
High formation, Osiris keeps right behind that powerful offensive line. Second down and 4 for the Highlanders. Gain of 6 for Osiris on that first down. So Highlanders looking to run the clock, gain the yardage, and put some more points on the board.
This is what's allowed for them to be successful here in this game, Todd. Starting drives off strong. You get that 11-yard pickup, an early first down to pick up there, and then you go right back to Mack, who gets 4 more yards. You want to keep these manageable for Osiris to work with and allow for your offense to do the rest here on the ground. Low snap there.
Osiris just going to have to throw this one away as he was under pressure there. Cambridge sideline looking for the flag and the intentional grounding, not going to receive what they want.
It's just the quarterback trying to...
And there's a flag thrown.
Sideline.
It will probably be a personal foul against the Cambridge sideline, I would assume.
That's undisciplined as it comes right there, Todd. You can't have that here at this juncture in the game. You can understand the passion and the frustration perhaps, but composure on the sidelines is just so important.
Unsportsmanlike conduct is the call against the Falcons, complaining about a lack of the intentional grounding call. So, first down and 10 is where the Highlanders will find themselves once they mark off this penalty. Discipline once again coming into play like you talked about, Tyler. Highlanders have struggled a little bit with their discipline as well. Big rivalry game, lots of excitement, lots of adrenaline out on the field. But you've got to contain that. You've got to hold it down. You can't get outrageously over the edge about it. And obviously the protestations by the Cambridge sideline went well beyond what the officials would accept, and they went on for a while. That flag, I mean, there was a good 30 seconds there. They were listening to the Cambridge sideline before they threw the flag.
You've got to keep that emotional gauge in check, but real good poise from Osiris there under center. It was a low snap with the heat being applied, and he did what any good quarterback should do, and that's just get the ball out of harm's way.
So give this time is to Mack. Mack through the line of scrimmage, wrapped up by number 6. Sebastian Aire, but not until he's through for a gain of 6. Second down and 4 for the Highlanders at the Cambridge 26-yard line. Highlanders looking to add to their 8-point lead here with 2:20 remaining in the third quarter. So Highlanders continue to drive.
Short gains have not been a thing here for the Highlanders in this game. They've been able to pick up at least, it feels like, 5 if not more yards on each of their carries. Wouldn't be surprised if they go right back to Mack here, but surprise, surprise.
Mack took the step that time. He's going to get called for the penalty as Mack stepped to his right there. False start is the call. Second down and 9 now. It's 5 yards marked off.
And that's been something we've seen for as much as the Highlanders have been able to get good gain good gains and pick up good yardage on a lot of these rushes. They've negated some of those rushes with penalties of their own. That has certainly been a theme here in this game, and it really hasn't swung either one way or the other for either team. They've both committed their fair share.
2nd and 9 now, pitch to Mack here on the near side. He's got the corner, he's got the sideline, and he's got the Highlander touchdown! As Ishmael Mack gets his 2nd touchdown of the day, finds the corner, tiptoes down the sideline, and the Highlanders lead this one again by 14.
Well, Ishmael Mack again as the Highlanders targeting that left side, using the left side of the line to their advantage, and just a subtle little pitch there from Osiris gets him in motion, gets him with a bit of steam to chug up the sideline with, and just a great job by Mack to identify the corner and find that seam, not only find it, but then attack it, breaking through that last tackle towards the end. Sebastian Array tried to come and take him down by the ankles, and as you said, Todd, just tiptoeing his way to the end zone.
And the pitch to Mack on the 2-point conversion as he pounds his way in for the 2. And the Highlanders lead this one 28-12. 16-point lead for the Highlanders with 1:33 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Really good drive there for the Highlanders, settling things down. They had come up empty on their first second half drive, and then they were able to get into the end zone, kind of stop the momentum the Falcons had built there at the end of the second half, or the end of the first half and beginning of the second half.
It certainly did feel like momentum had swung a bit towards the Falcons' side, especially how they were able to come out to start this half and get that quick stop, get this Highlander offense off the field. They were threatening there a bit, it looked like, but Somerville was able to get a turnover on downs. They get the ball back, and capitalizing on some penalties, they were able to keep that drive fairly clean, and ultimately that unsportsmanlike call that came along the Cambridge sideline finds a way to burn them, as it's the Ishmael Mack show for the Highlanders. He does it all, getting the touchdown, another long run for him, and then why not go right back to him for the 2-point conversion, an area in which the Highlanders here today have had a hard time capitalizing on. But as I said earlier in the first half, every point you can get here is critical against a Cambridge team that, coming into this game, has seemingly had no trouble scoring points.
As Wes Flores kicks this one away, Jemai Lewis trying to break through. He's brought down across the 40 to the 41-yard line, and that's where Cambridge will begin this drive as Fiore brings him down. Giovanni Fiore. Fiore, a big game today as well for the young man, as he's got an interception in the game also. Fiore, one of the sophomores on this team. Highlanders, a very young team. Only 3 seniors really get a lot of playing time. You got Jesus Munoz, he's that offensive line captain, the defensive line captain. You've got Ishmael Mack, we've seen how great he is today. And Jojo Flores, we've seen him defensively at the corner position for the Highlanders. Those are the only 3 seniors of note that get playing time for the Highlanders in terms of what you see out on the field. So a bright future for this Highlander team as they look to take the picket fence yet again this season, leading by 16 now. As Darridge back to pass. Over the middle, pass is incomplete. I don't know where he was throwing that ball. I think he was looking to go downfield to Hugo Davis, and Davis was in double coverage. He kind of double clutched that ball, and it came out short.
And it's kind of been the story in this game for Derek. He just, on these dropbacks of his, has not been able to find anybody open, and there's no second or third options forming. The quarterback has really been left to his own devices back there, and you could see him double pump a bit. He had to do a couple of taps onto the ball, and whether it's dancing around with the feet or pumping the ball, that's just a sign of a quarterback who doesn't have any options to work with. And the Highlanders have been able to take advantage. They've gotten pressure, they've gotten to him, and they really haven't allowed for this air raid type of offense to come through for Cambridge here today.
Darridge back to pass again, looks to the near side. That pass incomplete.
Guess who on the coverage?
Jojo Flores on that coverage. As the Cambridge player still down. Highlander trainer Michelle Kelly right there, as it was right in front of the Highlander bench.
Full marks to Michelle Kelly. She was right on top of the
On
spot
top.
there.
Michelle Kelly, one of the best high school trainers in the state of Massachusetts, recognized as such as well, but just a tremendous asset to all of the Highlander athletic program. Somebody as knowledgeable and capable as Michelle Kelly, as she's able to help out there with the Cambridge player down. I could not see who that was.
Neither could I, Todd. It was tight along the Highlanders sideline there. I know it was Flores in coverage coming over to break up that play, but hard to see over everyone standing here on the visitor sideline. Hopefully, though, the Falcon player is all right as he's getting some attention.
Gives me the opportunity to talk about some other stuff going on this winter as well. Not only hockey that we'll be looking at, Tyler. There will also be, of course, Highlander basketball, boys and girls basketball. Boys team looking to bounce back from a rough season as they will be looking for a great GBL run under Coach Antonelli. And, of course, the girls team, they are the reigning GBL champions as they look to defend their GBL championship in basketball. That is Joven's ex-home, who is injured for the Falcons on that play as he is heading off the field under his own power. A little bit of a limp there for ex-home, but we could see him back out on the field later on.
That would be a huge loss for Cambridge if he couldn't check back into this game, the senior tight end. We saw them go to him a few times early on in this game. He came up with some big completions on gotta have it type of plays, third down, third and long, some fourth down conversions as well. Thought they were actually looking towards him too at the end zone a couple times. He's been a threat for them offensively, and little Ginger as he makes his way back over to his sideline.
Big third down here for Cambridge, trailing by 16 at the end of the third quarter, minute 13 remaining. As that will be on the offense, multiple members of the Falcons moving. False start's going to be the call. 5 yards are going to be pushed back.
Looks like the hard count fooled Cambridge there a bit instead of the Highlanders. There was movement on both sides, it looked like, but more so on the Cambridge end of things.
They are having a discussion to determine what this call will be. And that is going to be the false start going against Cambridge. So it'll be a third down and 15 now for Cambridge.
This has been familiar territory for the Falcons. It's been a lot of these types of plays, third and longs. Penalties have been a factor, of course, backing them up into these instances, but their running game has been virtually non-existent here today. And as a result, they put their quarterback in difficult spots. He had a 3rd and 18 he was able to make a big play on to shut up about a 4th and 2. They're going to need something similar here to keep this drive alive late in the third quarter.
As Darridge fakes the handoff, looks downfield, Aragao punches on him, but he slips him. Now there's Jesus Munoz, and a big sack! As Evelio Lopez and Jesus Munoz take Darridge down for a huge sack.
It's going to be about 4th and forever here. As again, Darridge dropping back after the fake handoff. Nothing is doing for the Falcons downfield. The coverage has been airtight for Somerville. And if it's not Kerry Alphonse again, it's that tackling by committee. Munoz coming in trying to take him down. Ultimately, it was Evelio Lopez who just sends Darridge down into the turf.
Flushed by Kerry Alphonse. Lopez, Munoz finishing off the deal.
Snap.
High snap. That'll go out of the end zone. Highlanders will pick up 2 with the safety.
When it rains, it pours.
As Lincoln Jones, the punter, unable to handle that snap, well too high for him on the very back of his end zone. That will go out for the Highlander 2-point safety. They lead now 30-12. A big turnaround here. The second portion of this third quarter, the Highlanders really have owned it.
And it's a testament to them. We talked about keeping that emotional gauge in check. 20-12 coming into this second half. They don't start things off how they'd like to on offense. Cambridge looks like they're going to get something developed here. That big 3rd and 18 completion to set up a 4th and short. They're in your territory, knocking on the door. Your defense does the job. You capitalize on your next go around on offense. And then again, your defense comes back with renewed focus and purpose, coming in, pressuring the quarterback, applying that heat. And then it all culminates with a bad snap on special teams. You're backed up all the way into your own end zone on that punt, and they just do their punter, Lincoln Jones, no favors there. He had no chance to reach up and try and even make a play to run it out of his end zone. And I've said it already, Todd, plenty this game. Every point matters. Every point is valuable. That's 2 more big points for the Highlanders to help them expand their lead now 30-12.
Cambridge kicking away from the 20-yard line. They're going to try the onside. And right on top of it is Nashawn Knight. As Nashawn was able to jump on late onto the field. Nashawn, last player onto the field, got the correct position and was in the correct spot. Highlanders, incredibly short field here, great field position as they will take over at the Falcon 38-yard line, leading by 18 late here in the 3rd quarter.
Full throttle here if you're the Highlanders. Don't give up or relent an inch. You've got a chance now with your foot reestablished on the gas pedal. I want to put more points up on the board.
I would love to see, and the way you said it, put the pedal to the metal here. 19 seconds left in this quarter. I want to see what number 4 does on this play, because I could see them go downfield to number 4 or hand the ball off as Ryan Lewis, number 4, back in the backfield with Aries Osiris.
Mark Bellamy again on Pineda. The only guy fanned out there on that left side flank.
Give is to Lewis. So he's going to try to get around outside. Great job by the Falcons as they were all over that play defensively. Let's see here. First Falcon to the ball, I believe was number 43.
Yes, sir.
That's Hennessy Shaw. Shaw was the first Falcon there, but it was a flock of Falcons came up with that tackle. Good job by the Falcons defense on first down, and that will be it for the 3rd quarter of play. We will move to the 4th quarter in the backyard rivalry, the battle for the picket fence. The Highlanders leading this one by 18, 30-12, as they'll switch ends of the field. It'll be 2nd down for the Highlander offense when we return to play here. Highlanders up and down game so far. Lots of emotion in this game, and it's really been discipline that has really made a huge amount of difference for the Highlanders. I think about that sideline penalty, that unsportsmanlike on when the Falcons wanted the intentional grounding call. Since that call happened, it has been all Highlanders since that call in the 3rd quarter.
And the Highlanders, they've picked up a flag or 2 here in the 2nd half, but they've really done well to keep themselves emotionally under wraps. No personal fouls, no 15-yard penalties, no freebies, which is huge because it looked like, again, to start the 2nd half, that Cambridge was going to try and take advantage of things, moving the ball down the field. Now you've got yourself firmly back in control of this game. You've got separation up on the scoreboard, much more separation than you had at first. Now it's just a matter of executing here for another 12 minutes and sending us all home happy before we can dig into Thanksgiving.
Highlanders looking for their 75th, I believe, win in this series. Yes, Highlanders looking for their 75th win in this series. 12 minutes away from that. 12 minutes away from having the picket fence for yet another year in Somerville, as they lead by 18, 30-12. Another great point you made, Tyler. You look at the 12 points up on the board for the Falcons, and then you look at their scores throughout the season. This is a team that can get up into the 40s, into the 30s, into the 50s very, very easily, and yet the Highlander defense holding them to 12 points through 3 quarters.
Yeah, just alone coming into this game with 97 points in their last 2 wins, 47-46, and that shootout against Everett, 50-0 over Boston Latin.
Pineda is free through the line of scrimmage, spun down. Touchdown saving tackle there late as they were able to bring Pineda down, but not until he was down to the Falcon 25-yard line. First down and 10 for the Highlanders. Another big run there for Marcos Pineda. He's got 2 touchdowns on the deck.
And if it's not Mack, and if it's not Lewis, who has been fairly kept under wraps here today, It's Marcos Pineda. Just pick your poison, really, if you're the Falcons. And Pineda finally getting himself a big rip here in this second half after picking up 2 first-half scores.
Pineda is the deep back in the I formation behind Osiris. As the give is to Pineda. He'll run on that left-hand side of the offensive line. He's wrapped up after a gain of a few. It'll be a 2nd down and 6 for the Highlanders after the 4-yard carry by Pineda. That left side of the Highlander offensive line, Cedric Bernier, Evelio Lopez, and the big center, Jesus Munoz, the captain, right in the middle there. They have been dominant in this game. All of Pineda's big runs have basically come on that left-hand side, running behind those big boys.
And there just really hasn't been much of an answer on the Cambridge side of things. It's been all game long. They've worked that left side to their advantage, using their offensive line, which they have leaned on all year long. You're only as good of a runner as you are with the guys that are out in front of you, and those 3 in particular on that left side, so experienced, and so well versed in knowing how to do their job and do it well.
Shotgun formation, stacked receivers at the top. Osiris back to pass, looks for Ryan Lewis in the end zone. That is incomplete. As Lewis, a little bit underthrown there, defended by Bellamy on that one.
Bellamy's been in good coverage a couple of times when Osiris has dropped back to pass. Only about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen Aries attempt to pass here, dropping back into the pocket, trying to go for the corner of the end zone for Lewis, who's a hard man to cover with how he can shift gears and use his feet to his advantage. Bellamy's had a couple nice plays in the secondary. He had a good one early on in this second half against Marcos Pineda.
3rd down and 6 now for the Highlanders. Highlanders in definite 4-down territory as they look to build on this 18-point lead late in this game. So Cyrus will go under center. We have a timeout taken by the Highlanders. They want to talk over that defensive set that they saw. The assistant head coach, offensive coordinator Bob Silva out there. Head coach David Pereira out there as well with the headset on in the huddle. Congratulations, by the way, to head coach David Pereira and, of course, to assistant head coach Bob Silva and offensive coordinator. First ever head coaching job for Coach Pereira. This is his first ever above 500 season. Somerville was his first opportunity as a head coach. He came in and took, frankly, a program that was in a shambles. It was not in a good situation. And I sat down, I spoke to him years ago when he took the program over. He looked at me and he said, "It's going to take some time, but we're going to make it work. I'm going to be consistent, we're going to be disciplined, and we're going to make it work." And 3 years down the road now, Coach David Pereira has his first over 500 season. Congratulations to him on that, but also has really turned this program around. We've gone from seeing a team that really, it was night and day on the sideline. These guys really, really like one another. These guys really, really fight for one another, and it's great to see the Highlander football turn around.
He's got a young team. He's got a young team to work with as well.
As Osiris keeps it, pushing forward, he's got the first, and he's still going there as he gets it down around the 10-yard line. Aries Osiris, one of the key factors to this season. Another person, another player that I've really enjoyed talking to Coach Pereira about. He said to me earlier this year, at one point in the season, he just looked at me and he goes, "Aries Osiris, I'm going to put everything on his head. He's a smart kid. He knows what he's doing, and he knows what he's doing out on the field." Such trust this coaching staff has for Aries Osiris, along with so many players on this team. First down and 10 now for the Highlanders as they have it at about the 10-yard line.
Junior quarterback has certainly earned that trust with how he's been able to lead his team. And when you've got a young team like that, you've got to follow your leaders. And Osiris is just a player who knows how to play to his strengths.
So give is to Pineda as he tries to cut it back towards the inside. Brought down after a gain of about 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and goal for the Highlanders. A little slow getting up that time. was Krista Rochers, but he's up and ready to go. Got to shout out that whole offensive line, just not the left side, but the right side as well. Krista Rochers, Christian Treminio as well, making up the right side of that offensive line. They have been really, really dominant today against this Cambridge defensive front, as the Highlanders have been able to get yardage when they need it on the ground.
And it's been that extra effort, second and third effort plays to just gain a couple extra yards as well and set things up a little bit more favorable here for Osiris.
Second and goal, give is to Pineda, this time on the right-hand side, as he gets in there.
Just short by a yard or two, it looks like, Todd.
Dropped just barely short of it. So it'll be a 3rd down and 1 for the Highlanders. Clock rolls, under 8 minutes left in the game.
Keep it ticking here and punch in 6 more.
Well, we've gotten Pineda in the end zone twice, Mack into the end zone twice. Only 1 yard to go. Will Osiris just finish this off, running it over the last little bit with that tush push? Let's see.
Try it a couple times on those 2-point plays. Knocking on the door here, looks like it.
Osiris will give it to Pineda, and Pineda leans forward on the right-hand side and gets the Highlander touchdown, as Pineda gets his 3rd touchdown of the day. Highlanders lead this one 36-12 now, pending the extra point.
We were talking about hockey season, Todd, so why not a hat trick for Marcos Pineda?
Absolutely, absolutely.
3 of them on the ground. That one his shortest of the day by far. It looked like maybe they were going to set up for the tush push with Kerry Alphonse lining up there in the backfield behind Osiris, but subtle little handoff to Pineda, stacked up along the right side. He didn't have very far to go, and fairly easy 6 points to punch in for the Hattie, and a 36-12 lead as they'll go for 2 here.
2-point conversion pending here. Osiris in the shotgun, throws that one out to Pineda. Hook and ladder, and oh my goodness gracious, Emilio Lopez in for 2. As Emilio Lopez is on the ladder.
How about that?
Oh my goodness.
I was not expecting that. I don't think you were expecting that, Todd. It looked like the play was going to die just short at the goal line. But great heads-up football from the Highlanders to just hook it on over to the big man Lopez, who we've sung his praises plenty for his work on the offensive line. The big man able to catch and score.
A little prize there for Emilio. A little gift for the effort that he's put in all season long. He's been tremendous all season long. Multiple fumble recovers as well throughout the year for Emilio Lopez. Johnny on the spot is what Emilio Lopez has been. And the Highlanders, yet again, another Thanksgiving and another hook and ladder, because last year it was Ishmael Mack on a long hook and ladder. This one a 2-point conversion, but Emilio Lopez making like the fridge getting in there.
Would have been great if it was more so the big man touchdown, which I know everybody loves, but we'll take a 2-point conversion after the Highlanders have been stopped a couple times in the first half. They just continue to pick up points and expand their lead. 7:22 to go. Everyone's excited and jazzed up on that sideline, but you've got to keep your eyes out on the clock here. Still 7 minutes and change left to go. Don't let anything slip here in your grip and in your execution.
My Lewis looking to return. And he is brought down, or stopped, I should say. Now he's down. Just short of the 30-yard line. Falcons will take over at about their own 28. 7:13 remaining in the game. Highlanders with a 26-point lead now after the touchdown by Pineda and the 2-point conversion by Emilio Lopez. Big smiles, like you said, on the Somerville sideline, feeling like they've got the really good opportunity for that 75th win in this series, this rivalry for the picket fence.
I was going to say, Todd, really interested to see how Cambridge comes out here for this offensive series. Their sideline right now, flat. Their side in general, flat. But you've got 7 minutes and 13 seconds to go. Final game of the season. You're at home, Thanksgiving Day. We saw them not roll over and die in that first half, down 20-0. To their credit, they made plays down the stretch to get this to within 8 points. But since then, it has been all Somerville, and they need to find a way here to respond.
Darridge Pass to Santos as Nico Santos makes the catch on the quick out. That's going to be good enough for almost a Falcons first down, as it will be second down and a yard here for the Falcons.
That's what we saw back in the first quarter, especially on that first series for Cambridge, their ability to use the sidelines to their advantage. Santos, very deceptive, very slippery there in that regard. He gets himself outside and is able to get a good 8-yard pickup, which is something that Cambridge hasn't really had much to work with. Second down and short.
We'll note Jovin's Exum back out on the field. That's where he was looking, was Darridge, but instead he gets flushed by Kerry Alphonse and forced out of bounds. As let's see here, that was Riker Faith who forced him out of bounds after the initial pressure by Kerry Alphonse ran him out, but he did get the first down. Good scramble there by Darridge.
Yeah, good to see the senior tight end Exholm back out on the field for the Falcons. Final game for him in his career. Would have hated to see that have ended with him being unable to check back into the game. And an even better job by the quarterback Darridge, who's been under a lot of duress here in this game. Uses his legs to his advantage to help Cambridge pick up a first down.
First and 10 for Cambridge. 6:10 remaining in the game. Darridge back to pass. Under pressure again. He gets that one off to Davis. Underneath. Davis trying to fight off the tackle. Is not able to break through it though, but he does get the Falcon first down. Late flag is down as well.
Might be for that extracurricular there as they were trying to bring him down. I believe it was Fiore originally in on the tackle, trying to wrap him up down low around the legs, around the ankles. Always got to be careful there going around the knees of a player.
Pete Marr down, he was twisting around on that, and he's down being checked out by Michelle Kelly. Pete, one of the captains on this team.
Nice to see him spring right back up.
Yep.
A couple of players got tangled up going down onto the field. They're looking to bring Davis down. Good completion there from Darridge. Really the first time we've seen him been able to find somebody there after escaping some of that pressure, which has been unrelenting from the Highlanders all game long. You'd love to see that despite the score looking a bit lopsided here in this fourth quarter. They're not letting up any bit in terms of the pressure that they've been able to apply, and Cambridge, to their credit, finding ways to move the chains here and get a pretty nice pickup, not only from Davis on that reception, but then the penalty that followed after, which those continue to be a trend here. Plenty of laundry has hit the field here at Russell Field.
Tacked on for the late hit there. Now it'll be from the Highlander 22-yard line. First down and 10 for the Falcons. 5:20 remaining in the game.
If they can punch something in here, certainly expect the onside kick. It was going to come either way, I would have to imagine, but you've got to score here first to try and make this interesting.
As Darridge will counter back to the weak side.
Another flag.
Flag is down. That could be in the location of holding up on the offense, as Darridge able to get 10 yards on the carry. And holding is going to be the call. This will come back. Holding against the Falcons. It'll be a spot foul, so we'll see how much they mark this back. Good run there by Darridge, and that's something we've not seen throughout the day. We've seen Darridge show his athleticism, but under duress. That was a planned run by Darridge that was used to great effect, countering against that attacking defense of the Highlanders, but the holding penalty will bring it back. Something for the Highlanders to note, though, here late in this game. Darridge might look to get a little more mobile out of that offensive backfield. It will be first down now and about 20 as the ball back at the 31-yard line.
And I would believe that was the tackle, number 50, Eli Postal, who picked up that hold there on the line and rubs out a really good-looking design run there by Darridge, who we know is a heck of an athlete. He's got a heck of an arm as well.
Darridge hit as he throws. Good ball, though. Perfect pass to Jovin's Exo for the touchdown. As the Falcons will not go gently into the good night. Darridge, with Alphonse in his face, put that one right in the bucket for Exo as the Falcons make this a 20-point game, 38-18, pending the point after.
The senior connection there there, a thing of beauty. Darridge has dealt with pressure all game long. Kerry Alphonse getting right up into his grill, and he just delivers a perfect strike into the end zone for his big tight end to go up and make a play on. Eggsholm and Darridge, a pair of seniors who I'm sure have connected many a time over their careers. It's an important strike, an important score, and now we'll see if they can pick up 2 points here to make this an 18-point game with 4.5 to go.
As Darridge on the 2-point conversion, crossing that one to Santos. And Nico Santos in for the 2-point conversion. It is now an 18-point Highlander lead, 4:32 remaining in the game, 38-20 your score. And the onside kick, no doubt, will be in the offing from the Falcons with only 4.5 minutes remaining in this game.
We saw the Highlanders learn maybe a bit from that first onside kick attempt that did not go in their favor, that the Falcons were able to recover. We saw a couple of the early kickoff attempts, how far up that first front of players was positioned, almost anticipating a potential onside kick. This time around, no doubt that it's going to be coming. But for the Falcons, huge to get at least a score on the board here late. Get your sideline up and animated. Give something for your fans to cheer for. And as we know in any sport, Todd, the games do not end until there are 000s up on the board. So again, for the Highlanders, can't let up any bit here. You can't get loose in the late stages of the game, even if you feel comfortable. Usually that's when things can start to go wrong for you.
Onside here, Sunday hop. Offsides is going to be the call against the Falcons as the far side of that onside recovery team got across the line before Darridge made contact with the ball. So they will back up 5 yards and try the onside again. As Mack is the deep back for the Highlanders for the return. The ball will not get to him, I promise you that.
If it does, something went horribly wrong.
Something went horribly awry. It's Darridge now setting for the onside again. This one takes a Sunday hop, and JoJo Flores will be on it for the Highlanders as they recover the onside. Great field position for the Highlanders here, 4:32 remaining in the game. I am pretty sure the Highlanders would like to see that Cambridge offense stay off the field the rest of this game.
I was just going to say the same thing, Todd, here with 4:32 to go. You've got great field position after the recovery on the onside kick, but you're up by 18 here. It's not a situation where you've got to go and you've got to go quickly to try and get a score. We've seen how this team is able to use the clock to their advantage, use their ground game to their advantage. It's how they came out to start this game, setting that tempo early. I wouldn't expect that to change here late, regardless of what the scoreboard might say.
4:32 remaining in the game. Highlanders with the 18-point lead and the ball in Cambridge territory. They'll start the drive at the Cambridge 47. Osiris with the I formation behind him. The give is to Matt. He breaks one tackle in the backfield, but that's about all he can do. Great penetration there by the Falcon defensive front as they push Mack back. No gain there for the Highlanders on the carry. It'll be actually second down, a loss of about 1 on the play. Second down and 11 now for the Highlanders as the clock rolls. 4:07 remaining in the game.
Well, you want to lean on this clock as it continues to run. Somerville in no rush here to get up to the line and break from this huddle. But at the same time, you do want to still find ways to pick up yards and pick up first downs to really salt this clock away, as the Highlanders will group up now here.
It strikes me the 2-point conversion on the hook and ladder by Avilio Lopez is incredibly important at this point in time because the Highlanders have an 18-point lead, which is 3 possessions, and not a 16-point lead, which would be 2. As Mack tries to get the corner, good job there defensively by number 16. As that is Bellamy once again, Demace Bellamy. He's had a heck of a game out there for the Falcons.
Come up with some great plays in the secondary in particular. That time, though, he's got to step up a bit to go up and under Ishmael Mack, who was trying to bulldoze over him and look to pick up more yards.
Is Bellamy a junior? We will get to see him next year as well for the Falcons. So the clock rolls down, 3 minutes remaining in the game. Highlanders in no rush with the 18-point lead, 3rd down and 9.
Also can't forget, Todd, the safety as well on that bad snap, the
You're
high
right.
snap.
Excellent point.
That came up over the punter's head. Another critical 2 points up on the board to add some insurance here for the Highlanders.
The give is to Pineda on that left-hand side. Tries to bounce it a little bit to the outside, and he's brought down after a gain of about 5 on the play. It'll be a 4th down and 5 now for the Highlanders.
Christopher Jean-Baptiste taking perhaps some of the frustrations he's had with the running game. Not really in his favor here today. Solid tackle coming from the backside to bring Pineda down, as it'll set up 4th down here.
And the
fourth and
Highlanders,
manageable.
they're going to punt this one. No, they're not. I saw Pineda back there, but he's actually the deep back in the I formation. I thought they were going to punt this one away.
They've stuck in that I formation for most of this game, Todd. We've seen shotgun maybe a couple of plays, but it's really been this format that they've decided to stick with as more players moving.
Hard count by Osiris. Offsides is the call. Let's see if that's enough for a 1st down. And it will be. Highlanders will get the 1st down on the offsides. Under 2 minutes remaining. Clock rolls.
Pick up a 1st down for Somerville.
Highlanders looking for their 75th victory in this rivalry. First down and 10 now for the Highlanders. Minute 35 remaining in the game here in the 136th game between Cambridge and Somerville. Pitch to Pineda, trying to get to the outside. Nice job there by the Falcon D. Exholm is able to bring him down as Jobins Exholm makes the tackle out on the edge. Clock rolls, a minute 10 remaining. 2nd down and 10 for the Highlanders.
2nd and 9.
Yeah, you had a feeling, Todd, that if they could just pick up that 1st down at 4th and 4, that would really be all that they would need to kill the rest of this clock off. And it seems pretty fitting that it was another penalty flag hitting the turf to give them that 5 yards. And now in the final minute of things, they can just take their time on 2nd and long to chisel away a couple of more yards and chisel the rest of this clock down to 0.
Osiris gives it off to Mack. Mack through that offensive line. Following the block of Kerry Alphonse. 25 seconds remaining. Highlanders may not have to run another one. 3rd down and 4. And they are going to take the picket fence back to Somerville yet again for the 2nd year in a row, as the Highlanders will come away victorious here at Russell Field by the score of 38-20.
That's the end of the ball game.
The Highlanders take the picket fence for the 2nd year in a row. They finished their season at 7-3. A great season for the Highlanders, as they have been absolutely tremendous this season. The turnaround for Highlander football is officially complete.
Oh, without a doubt, Todd. And for this team, 6-1 to start the season. I can remember being back on Halloween for that home game against Lynn English, that back-and-forth affair that they just fell short of in a pivotal GBL matchup. You didn't want to end your season on a 3-game losing streak after starting off so strong with 6 wins in your first 7. You knew it was at stake here this morning with the emotions of this rivalry on Thanksgiving Day. So great that they were able to come together and play this game on the day of the holiday, keeping up with the tradition and keeping up with how things have been trending recently for this program, who won this game last season, but now really truly does feel like they have stepped into a new era under head coach Pereira, who we tip our caps to here to finish off a season 7-3 for the Highlanders, who are, as you mentioned, Todd, going to bring that picket fence trophy, as they have here in their hands, back to Somerville.
Jesus Munoz will carry the picket fence. Kerry Alphonse alongside him. Pineda carrying the trophy Marcos Pineda, a hat trick of touchdowns for the Highlanders. Ishmael Mack busted a couple big touchdown runs as well. And the Highlander defense solid throughout the day as they held this explosive Falcon offense to 20 points, defeating the Falcons 38-20. The picket fence will stay in Somerville as the Highlanders celebrate. I want to thank the seniors on this team, recognize the seniors on this team: Ishmael Mack, Jojo Flores, Louis Rivas, Nashawn Knight, Danny Gwynn, Jesus Munoz, and Emerson Rodriguez. As congratulations to those seniors going out with the picket fence. Congratulations to head coach David Pereira, assistant head coach Bob Silva as well, as they have a winning team, a winning record, and a winning season for the first time for this coaching staff for the Highlanders. A great season, and it's capped with the 75th victory against Cambridge in the backyard rivalry as head coach David Pereira lifts up the picket fence. Tyler, great game here for the Highlanders on this Thanksgiving.
Just a great way to end off what really was a great season for Somerville. And we talked about all broadcast long about how young this team is, about how promising the future can look. Now you've got that winning culture established, at least at the foundation level. And it's exciting to see now what the future is going to have in store for this team as they go forward here. But as we mentioned, 7-3 sounds a lot better than 6-4, and ending on a win, a marquee win like this on Thanksgiving Day against our rivals, the Cambridge Falcons, just feels so much better now to go in and celebrate what should be a great Thanksgiving for all of us around.
Absolutely a great Thanksgiving for the Highlanders here at Russell Field as they come away with their 75th victory in this series. Great, hopefully a great Thanksgiving for everybody at home as well. Thank you so very much for watching Somerville Ed TV here for the battle for the picket fence. I want to say also thank you very much, Eddie Maldonado, my color commentator throughout the season. A great job for Eddie, a fantastic season with him as well. Great game today. Tyler, thank you so much. Great job on the commentary. Look forward to seeing you at the vet for Highlander hockey in a couple weeks.
We'll be right back at it, my friend. I'm looking forward to it.
No doubt about it. Thank you so very much. Thank you as well, Matt Frenduto on the camera. Joe Constantine, he's our director. I'm Todd Harmon, and you have been watching the victorious picket fence owning Somerville Highlander football team on Somerville Ed TV. Happy Thanksgiving.